Good morning, dear students. So, we have completed different chapters. Now, here we are going to start a new chapter, that is surface chemistry. Surface chemistry is the branch of chemistry which deals with the study of the processes or the phenomena that occurring on the surface, generally on the surface of solid or liquid. So the surface of solid and liquid that we have differently than that of the bulk. Okay, so because they have different intermolecular forces of attraction. So the molecule which is present, generally suppose you have taken some liquid here. So the molecule which is present are the bulk. It experiences the force of attraction on all sides. But when it is present on the surface, it has only force of attraction from different sides, from this side, or from downward force of attraction. But there is no upward force of attraction of these molecules. In this way, these surface molecules or the surface behave differently in case of liquids as well as in case of solids also. In this way, their behavior is different. So there are different processes that occur on the surface, that is crystallization process, that is adsorption process. Okay, so different processes that occur on the surface, due to this surface phenomena, that is a surface tension is there one. So crystallization, adsorption. So there are different processes that generally occur due to this surface phenomena. So here, due to this surface phenomena, another portion, that is the colloidal state is there and catalytic action is there. So all these depends on the surface of liquids or the surface of solids. So in this, here in this chapter, we are going to study different portions of the surface chemistry. So first here we are going to study about adsorption. So what is adsorption? So adsorption is a phenomena in which the different molecules of gases or liquids, different molecules of gases or liquids accumulate on the surface of solid or liquid, okay, than that of in the bulk. So suppose this is the surface of solid and different molecules that accumulate only on the surfaces that do not go into the bulk. These solids or some liquids are present only in the surface and that not come to the bulk, the interior part, and that phenomenon is known as your adsorption. So fill and write anything on this whiteboard, that is also due to adsorption. Look here, whenever I write something, only that will be written on the surface. Now it penetrates through it. It do not go, so it do not pass through this board. So if it goes to this into this board, then that process is known as your adsorption. And only if it touches the surface, only it accumulates on the surface, then that is known as your adsorption. And look at this duster. So in duster there is some clothes is there, but look, it remains almost white, but only the black portion is here. That means whenever I rub it, only this ink particles or this liquid only accumulate on the surface. Okay, so that is known as your adsorption. So the adsorption is a process in which either liquids or solids accumulate on the surface of solid or liquid than that of the bulk. That process is known as your adsorption. Similarly, if we take some ink and dip a chalk into it, it seems that the chalk absorbs all the ink particles. But when we broke down this chalk, we found that the interior part remains white. So why? That is due to the process that is known as your adsorption. Okay, so these are some processes that is known as your adsorption. Similarly, activated charcoal that absorbs different gases. Similarly, silica gel that absorbs moisture. So that process in which the different molecules of liquids or gases accumulate on the surface of some other solid or liquid, that is known as your adsorption. That process is known as your adsorption. And this adsorption, there are two components. One is known as your adsorbate, another known as adsorbent. Two components of adsorption. One is known as adsorbate, another known as adsorbent. So, the substance which get absorbed, the substance which get absorbed is known as adsorbate, and the substance which absorbs or on which the substances get absorbed. The substances get absorbed, that are known as adsorbent. Suppose I am writing here with the help of ink, then this ink is known as adsorbate and this board is known as adsorbent. Similarly, silica gel absorbs water molecule. So water molecules are adsorbate while silica gels are adsorbent. Charcoals absorb gases. Gases are adsorbate and charcoal is adsorbent. So here in this duster, this absorbs ink. Okay, so this duster is now the adsorbent and this is the ink is here the adsorbate. So the substance which get absorbed is known as adsorbate and on which it get absorbed, that is known as your adsorbent. So there are two components of adsorption. Okay. So if we consider the thermodynamic process, the thermodynamic concept of adsorption, then we find that any process to be spontaneous, the del G that should be negative, that is change in free energy should be negative, and del G equal to del H minus T del S. What is del S? This is the enthalpy change, and del S, this is the entropy change, and T is the temperature at which this adsorption takes place. So for del G should be negative, this del H should be negative. If the process is spontaneous, then del G should be negative. So for del G negative, to become del G negative, del H should be negative. So here del H is negative. That means adsorption is exothermic process. This is exothermic process. Some amount of heat is generally produced during adsorption. And another thing, during this adsorption, some molecules are get adsorbed. In this way, the surface area decreases and sometimes new compounds are formed. In this way, the entropy of the system decrease. As the entropy decrease, then del S also negative. Del S also negative. So, in adsorption process, del H is negative as well as del S is also negative. And because this is more negative, del H should be more negative and the temperature should be low. So that the temperature is low, so that this term becomes positive value, less positive value, and total term becomes negative. Okay, so in the adsorption process, this is the exothermic process, as well as there is decrease in energy, decrease in entropy. So adsorption. Another process that is known as your adsorption. So, what is the difference between this adsorption and adsorption? In adsorption, the different particles accumulate in the surface as well as in the bulk uniformly. So, the phenomenon by which a solid, liquid or a gas is uniformly distributed on a solid, on a liquid uniformly, that process is known as your adsorption. So suppose this is a solid surface and molecules are uniformly distributed on the surface as well as in the bulk. So that process is known as your adsorption process. While only it remains if you on the surface, that is known as your adsorption, and if it is uniformly distributed throughout this system, that is the bulk as well as on the surface, that is known as your adsorption. Okay, so this is uniform. This is here all the particles of liquid and gas are uniformly distributed in the bulk, and here only on the surface, that accumulate only on the surface. So this is the difference between adsorption and adsorption. Next, suppose water molecules, suppose some silica gel are treated with water and some calcium chloride are treated with water. Then silica gel only adsorbs this water molecule. So here silica gel is the adsorbent and water are the adsorbate. And when calcium chloride is treated with water, then all this calcium chloride absorbs. Calcium chloride absorbs the water molecule. So calcium chloride absorbs water molecule, whereas silica gels absorb water molecule. Water molecules. Okay, so this is the difference between adsorption and adsorption. Next, so this is uniform and this is not uniform, only maximum present at the surface. So this is the difference between adsorption and adsorption. And if a process both adsorption and adsorption takes place, then that is known as your sorption. If any system both adsorption and absorption takes place, then that is known as your sorption. And in some cases, if the after this absorption, if the gas molecules are removed from the surface, then that is known as your desorption. Okay, another process known as desorption. So this is the removal of gases or liquids from the surface of a solid, from the surface of a solid after absorption, that is known as your desorption. Okay, so these are different terms of absorption, sorption, desorption and absorption. Next come to the classification of types of absorption. Types of absorption. So, depending on the force of attraction between the adsorbate and adsorbent and the nature, this absorption is classified into two types. One, physical absorption and another chemical absorption. So, this is of two types. One, physical absorption, also known as physisorption, and another known as chemical absorption or chemissorption. Okay. So, what are the nature of this physical absorption or physisorption? First, there exists force of attraction between the adsorbate and adsorbent is van der Waals force of attraction, and that is the weak force of attraction. And this physical absorption actually is not specific in nature. Say particular solid can absorb different types of gases in different extent, or it can also absorb different liquids in different extent. So in this way, physical absorption is not specific nature, and here the energy is also very low. The enthalpy of absorption is also very less, that is nearly 20 to 40 kilojoule mole inverse per mole, and the force of attraction is weak, that is weak van der Waals force of attraction. And generally, with increase in temperature, this absorption generally decreases, and with increase in pressure, this physical absorption generally, with increase in pressure, the physical absorption generally increases, but at very high pressure it remains at equilibrium or almost constant. There is no change in absorption with increase in pressure. Then physical absorption, that forms multi-molecular layer. After one absorption occurs, and if high pressure is applied, then it forms another layer of adsorption. So another layer of molecules get absorbed. In this way, this physical adsorption is multi-molecular layer. But chemisorption, here the force of attraction between the adsorbate and adsorbent is strong molecular force of attraction, that is chemical force of attraction. And here the enthalpy of adsorption is also high, that is nearly about 40 to 400 kilojoule per mole of energy is generally released. And chemical absorption is generally specific in nature. So, chemical absorption does not take place in all cases. In some cases only chemical absorption takes place. Next, so chemical is specific and enthalpy is more and force of attraction is more. And a physical absorption with increase in temperature, so first it increases and then it remains first it increases to reaches a maximum and then decreases with increase in temperature. And with increase in pressure, this physical absorption, chemical absorption also increases. And another thing that in this physical absorption depends on the surface area. More is the surface area and more is the physical absorption. But in chemical absorption, generally a compound is formed and the surface between this adsorbate and this adsorbent, so there is a chemical force of attraction. In this way there is a formation of a new type of compound. The surface active compound is generally formed in chemical absorption. And this physical, so these are some differences between physical absorption and chemical absorption, and what are their natures. Okay, so now let us discuss some points of characteristics of the absorption, physical absorption and chemical absorption, and that also gives the difference between physical absorption and chemical absorption. So, physical absorption, chemical absorption, and some characteristics. Okay, so first specificity. So physical absorption not specific, but chemical absorption is specific in nature. For example, so when charcoal treated with, when a charcoal is used, then it can absorb different gases like hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide or inert gases, different gases to different extent. But also different gases can be absorbed by same activated charcoal or charcoal. But chemical absorption, that is specific. So for example, when nickel is treated, when hydrogen gas is passed through a catalyst containing nickel, then nickel or platinum, then platinum forms compounds, or there is a strong force of attraction between platinum and hydrogen. So platinum absorbs hydrogen. It cannot absorb other gases like carbon dioxide, oxygen, etc. So in this way, the absorption of platinum, absorption of hydrogen on platinum surface, absorption of platinum on hydrogen surface, that is, absorption of hydrogen on platinum surface, absorption of hydrogen on platinum surface, that is a chemical absorption, while absorption of gases on charcoal, that is a physical absorption process. Next, another property, that is force of attraction. Force of attraction. So there is very low force of attraction and this is strong force of attraction. Generally, chemical bond is formed. Chemical bond is formed, the chemical force of attraction low, and here generally van der Waals force of attraction. Van der Waals force of attraction. Okay. Next property is energy. So here enthalpy of absorption is low. In this case, this is low, nearly 20 to 40 kilojoule mole inverse, and here high, generally 40 to 400 kilojoule mole inverse. Next, this one reversible, reversibility. So physical absorption, this is reversible in nature, reversible in nature and this is irreversible. Irreversible in nature. And another point, that is nature of gas. So the gases which are easily liquefied, gases which are easily liquefied, that are generally absorbed easily. Gases which are easily liquefied are absorbed easily, while in chemical absorption it does not depend upon the nature of gas. Does not depend on the liquefaction of gas. Rather, it depends on the reactivity of gas with the metals. So, next property, that is surface area. So, it increases with increase in surface area, and it forms surface active compound. It forms surface active compound on the surface. Okay, so this is these are some difference points. Next, let us discuss another different points, that is specificity, force of attraction, energy, reversibility, nature of the gas, surface area. Let us discuss some other points. Some other points, that is multi-molecular layer. So physical absorption, when pressure is applied, it forms multi-molecular layer. It forms single layer. Next point, that is temperature. So it occurs at low temperature. If the temperature increases, then absorption decreases. So here it increase in temperature and then decreases. At first increase in temperature. At first increase in temperature and then decrease. That means if we draw a graph between the extent of absorption x by m and temperature, then it decreases with increase in temperature. But in case of this, it first increase and then decrease. Okay, this is the effect of temperature. Next, another factor, that here So as it requires low energy, so its activation energy. Activation energy. So its activation energy is low, its activation energy is high. In this it increase in temperature, first it increases and then decreases. Next, effect of pressure. Effect of pressure. So it increase and after some time remains constant. It increase and after some time remains constant. So increase and after some time remains constant. So if the pressure is lowered, then the absorbed gas can be recovered. Here also same, increase after some time, increase after some time remains constant, and by lowering the temperature the gases can be recollected. Okay, so by lowering pressure, gases can be recollected. And here also the same, that is by lowering pressure gases can be recollected. Gases can be recollected. So these are the characteristics of physical adsorption and chemical adsorption, as well as these are the difference between physical adsorption and chemical adsorption. Next come to the factors on which adsorption depends. So next come to factors affecting adsorption. Factors affecting adsorption. So first point is nature of adsorbent and adsorbent. So if they adsorb the gases which are easily liquefied like ammonia, carbon dioxide, etc., that gases are adsorbed more easily than that of hydrogen, helium, nitrogen, oxygen, etc. Okay. So, and also depends on adsorbent. If the adsorbent is more porous, it has more surface area, then it adsorbs more. So, for example, activated charcoal absorbs more the number of gases than that of all other solid surfaces. Next, number 2 is surface area. Surface area of adsorbent. If the adsorbent has larger surface area, then it can adsorb more amount. For example, suppose you have taken any metal in finely divided form, then it absorbs more amount of more amount of gases. For example, so whenever we have studied, that is the construction of single hydrogen electrode, generally platinum foil is coated with platinum black. That means finely divided platinum is deposited, finely divided platinum deposited on a platinum metal surface. So for which it provides more surface area. So if we get in finely formed powdered form of this metal, or this charcoal powder is also we have taken, then it provides more surface area and the rate of absorption increases. So this can be done either by making finely powdered form or by roughening the surface of adsorbent. So if the adsorbent surface is rough, then it can absorb more amount of adsorbent. Okay. So by roughening the surface or by making in powder form, finely divided powder form, the surface area of adsorbent increases and the rate of absorption also increases. And another proper effect, that is known as your pressure. So with increase in pressure, generally absorption increases. So after some time, it reaches to a maximum, that is called absorption at saturation, where the saturation of absorption takes place. That is the maximum pressure at which the saturation of absorption takes place, and after that it remains almost constant. So this absorption is independent of pressure. So if the pressure increases at high pressure, the rate of absorption is independent of pressure, but at low pressure it increases with increase in pressure. So at low pressure absorption increases with increase in pressure, and it reaches a maximum, and then it remains independent of pressure. Whatever pressure you apply, it remains independent. So first increase, then remain independent, of pressure. Next factor is temperature. So as it is exothermic in nature, in this way by increasing temperature, the equilibrium shifts backward. So in this way by increasing temperature, the adsorption decreases. So with increasing temperature, the adsorption decreases. But for chemical adsorption, with increasing temperature, it first increases and then decreases. In physical adsorption, it decreases with increase in temperature, but in chemical adsorption, first increases and then decreases. And another factor, that is activation of adsorbent. So if the adsorbent is activated, and then it's more activated towards adsorption, then the rate of adsorption increases. For example, if this charcoal is heated in a vacuum, then whatever the gases are present, all that escapes out and that becomes more activated. So then that of normal charcoal, the activated charcoal absorbs more amount of gases. So in this way, activation of by activating any adsorbent, the rate of absorption increases, and this can be also done by roughening the surface, by making finely divided form, by heating the adsorbent in vacuum. So in this way, by activating an adsorbent, the rate of adsorption increases. So these are the factors on which adsorption depends. Next, what is the effect of pressure on adsorption? That is given by an isotherm, that is called Freundlich adsorption isotherm. So, uh, what is the extent of adsorption? How it depends on pressure. That relation is given by Freundlich. That relation is given. That relation is given by Freundlich. So, what is the amount of gas adsorbed on the surface of adsorbent with increase in pressure? The relation is given by Freundlich at different temperature. So, first at a fixed pressure at different temperature, these are taken, that are called adsorption isobars, and it is found that with increase in temperature the adsorption decreases. Suppose 195 Kelvin, 215 Kelvin and 235 Kelvin. So, by increasing temperature, the rate of adsorption decreases. And keeping one, so suppose this is, here keeping one pressure constant, how it varies with temperature. So, keeping temperature constant at different temperatures, how this adsorption takes place. So, first at 195 Kelvin, the extent of adsorption with pressure, how this varies with pressure is taken, and at 215, this how this extent of adsorption takes place by changing pressure, that was examined, and also at different temperature, this is examined. It is found that with increase in temperature, the rate of adsorption decreases. Well, X is amount of gas absorbed, amount of gas absorbed, and M, that is the amount of adsorbent. Amount of adsorbent, it taken in gram, amount of gas adsorbed. So, amount of adsorbent on the surface, on which surface the gas get adsorbed, that is taken, and P is the pressure. And it is found that, suppose we have considered only one temperature, that is at 195 Kelvin, or at a particular temperature, suppose 200 Kelvin, then we find that this graph appears like this. This graph appears like this. That means with increase in pressure, first it increases, then it reaches a maximum, and after it reaching this maximum point, it remains almost constant. Now it becomes independent of temperature. So from this relation, we found that at low pressure, X by M is directly proportional to P to the power 1, or X by M equal to some constant K into P to the power 1. So here this is directly proportional with increase in pressure, the rate of adsorption increases. In this X by M proportional. And at high pressure, look here the pressure is high. So whatever may be the pressure, the X by M remains constant. It after is reaching this saturation point, after reaching this equilibrium point, saturation point, it remains constant. It remains constant. It is independent of pressure. So in this way, at high pressure, X by M proportional to P to the power 0, or P to the power 0, or X by M equal to some constant into P to the power 0. So P to the power 0 equal to 1. In this way, so at low pressure this relation, at high pressure this relation. In this way, what we reach at intermediate pressure, first should be the relation. Then at intermediate pressure, X by M proportional P to the power 1 by N. where 1 by n lies between 0 and 1. So 0 is less than 1 by n than 1. So this is the relationship. So as at high pressure and low pressure. So 1 by n. And when the pressure is low, then 1 by n equal to 1. 1 by n equal to 1. And when pressure is high, then 1 by n equal to 0. So in this way, x by m versus p by 1 by n. So this is the relationship. X by m equal to some constant into p to the power 1 by n. So this relationship, so this is equation 1. This is relationship is known as Freundlich-Adjorson isotherm equation. This is Freundlich-Adjorson isotherm relation. And to examine this in proper way, generally logarithm form of this equation is taken, and when we take the logarithm of this equation, taking logarithm of equation 1 in more effectively we can find log x by m equal to log k plus 1 by n log p, log k plus 1 by n log p. And when we draw a graph log x by m versus log p, then we find a straight line with intercept log k, this is log p, this is log x by m, and slope 1 by n. So in the logarithm form, the nature of the curve is a straight line with intercept log k and slope 1 by n. Okay, so this is adsorption, this is Freundlich-Adjorson isotherm. Now come to what are the applications of this adsorption. So this adsorption is generally used for making a clear solution of sugarcane, for making sugar. So generally sugarcane contains different organic colored materials. When bone charcoal is used in it, it absorbs all the pigments and a clear solution is formed, which is generally collected by filtration, and by crystallization process sugar is formed. And this adsorption is also used to remove the humidity, the moisture present in atmosphere, for dehumidifier. This is used to remove humidity in atmosphere, and this adsorption process is used in gas masks. So in gas masks, activated charcoal is used, which absorbs the different poisonous gases by charcoal. Okay, so this is also used, adsorption process is also used in chromatography. This adsorption process is also used in dyeing of clothes. So there are different applications of adsorption process.